Welcome to episode 10 of our Team Lotus F1 Manager series as we are heading to Spain and Barcelona in this one, coming off the back of Canada, which bit of a mixed feelings coming off the back of that one, to be honest with you. If you haven't checked it out already, please do go to the channel and check out episode 9 in Canada. Probably the best episode of the series so far in terms of result, drama. Bit of a spoiler in there, but I won't give you any more if you want to drop off this and check that one out. But if you're still here, yeah, as I say, mixed feelings on that because with Daniel Ricciardo, we did get our best finish of the season with 12th place. But we were hanging in the points there for quite a while. And I think two things cost us, really. Schumacher hitting Daniel Ricciardo early on. It would have given him a bigger gap later in the race where the RBs caught us. We probably would have had 4 or 5 seconds on them, probably more. And also the pace when it dried out. Our car was pretty good in those wet, damp conditions, but in the dry, the RBs behind us and the other cars behind us just had much better pace. So unfortunately, we couldn't hold out. But as I say, on the flip side, on a positive, our best result before that was 16th. We managed 12th, so that's a good improvement for us. And we'll see as we get into this one whether we can get some more designs and parts on the car to keep getting us up the grid and maybe make 12th to sort of 16th the more regular position rather than 16th to 22nd. So we'll see how we go in this one. But if you're not already, if you're enjoying the series or you're new today to the series and you like this content, please do subscribe. You'll keep up to date with all the latest episodes in this Team Lotus series. Please do like the video. As I say, I'm trying to get these video likes up. It really does help the content. So if, again, you're liking the content, please do smash a like on the video. And as always, get involved down below in the comments. But let's head into Spain and Barcelona in episode 10 of this Team Lotus F1 Manager series. So we've just had our first research project finish, which is on side pods. There's only 2 parts which are affected by the 2025 regulations. One of those is the side pods. The other is the chassis. Unfortunately, we can't do a chassis research project because we've got a normal design project underway. So we'll go in and do another side pod research project. And unfortunately, we haven't got any CFD or wind tunnel hours, so we can't use that. And what you'll see here in the expertise bonus column here is each of these parts, the reduction on 2025. So as you can see, drag reduction, minus 30%. Nothing on engine cooling, minus 30% on airflow front, and minus 30% on airflow middle. So that's what we need to build up that deficit against for 2025. So we'll just go all out on those for now. And we've only got 1 engineer, so we'll put the last engineer on. That's going to be $1 million for that one. Actually, I said about putting some design work on the car for Barcelona. Not really going to be too much. We're only going to have the new suspension, which is done in 3 days. So the rest is now about 3 to 4 weeks out. So be a little phase now where we go for a couple of Grand Prix without any upgrades. So as I say, 11 days to Barcelona. So that'll be 11 days to the chassis after that and 19 to the underfloor. So yeah, we'll get that new suspension on, but we won't have anything new for Austria. And then we'll have one maybe design for Silverstone, and then there'll be nothing until we get to Hungary. So there's going to be a little bit of work that we go through now where we won't be seeing much designs, new designs on the car. This is Mick's car. He's missing a chassis, a front wing, a rear wing, side pods failed, and suspension. We are in big problems there with Mick, whether we can manufacture all those parts before Barcelona. I very much doubt it. He's probably going to have to run some old specs. We'll have a look at that before we get to Barcelona. Engine in ERS didn't take much, but Gasly going into the rear of us has wrecked that gearbox. So as you can see, Mick, effectively, we can't run that gearbox in the race. We probably can in practice. It's probably not even going to make it through practice. So he's going to be on his 4th car part, and we're not even halfway through the season. So that's going to be a big issue. We're definitely going to have to buy another gearbox for Mick, maybe 2. And that's a real issue when we haven't got much money. But the new suspension is now designed, but we can't manufacture because we're having to manufacture everything else for Mick in terms of getting the actual current parts on his car. So unfortunately, we may not even get that suspension on the car now. That does mean we've got a design spot free though. I think we're going to go for a front wing. And we'll drop the minimum lifespan right down as we always do. Tire preservation would be nice to come up a little bit there. Well, let's go with that. 6 engineers for that. 29 days, 1.8 million. We nearly are out of money, though, and that's probably just going to continue to get negative as we go on. So, yeah, now we've just got to work through this manufacturing and see what we can get on the car. Got some engineer and driver tension. Daniel Ricciardo and the race engineer, Victor Bushko. I'm not exactly... Right, what do we want to do here? So we acknowledge... You get minus mentality. Let's intervene. We're intervening. Let's see what happens there. So our rear wing manufacture has finished, so we can now manufacture that new suspension. Unfortunately, on normal, it's going to be 8 days, so we won't get it for the Spanish Grand Prix, so it means we'll have no new parts on the car. That's basically because of Mick. Well, Mick and Danny Rick. Danny Rick also crashed into the wall, and because of all the parts we're having to manufacture, we can't get any new parts on the car, so that will not be ready for Barcelona, but it will be ready for Austria for both of them, I believe. So we've got our sponsor plan review. We hit the target and we've got 3.1 million from that. Don't think we had any mandatory activities. We didn't, but that 3.1 million is certainly going to help. What does that do for our finances? So projected is still minus 59 million, isn't it? That's a big issue for us. We're certainly going to have to stop this design work soon because we're just not going to... Yeah, we're not going to meet that deficit, which is an issue. So cost cap, I would say, absolutely fine. It's more the balance that's going to cost us. Right, so we've locked in our next sponsorship activities. We're trying to put quite a lot in because we need the cash. So unfortunately, I'm trying to focus on the ones where we're not going to lose too much in terms of driver performance or design work capacity. We are going to lose some on the staff performance, but we need to get that money in, unfortunately. We're now 1 day off the Spanish Grand Prix in Barcelona. We've just gone in and sort of mixed car out and put the parts on. So unfortunately, he's had to revert to the first spec part on the chassis and suspension. So we haven't got any new or the newest design spare parts for him. So he's running some older parts until we can get some more manufacturing underway on those. So before we head into the Spanish Grand Prix, look at this in terms of Daniel Ricciardo, where he's ranked now. So top speed 17th, acceleration 19th, DRS effectiveness 15th. So we have improved that as well. Tyre preservation staying around the same, 16th. Engine cooling, we've got work to do, but I'm not too bothered about that, 18th. Total weight, fine, first. Dirty air tolerance, again, we've got work to do, 18th. But now on cornering, we're 11th on the grid in low speed, 16th in medium speed, and 14th in high speed. Now, what you should see is when we change to Mick, he'll probably be a lot lower than that because he's got some older parts on the car. Yeah, so as you can see, top speed, acceleration, a lot lower down. The high speed improves, but this is because he's running this old spec where we're more focused on high speed before changing to low speed. So whereas low speed is 11th, Daniel Ricciardo, it's 15th for Mick. It's 13th for high speed, so a little bit better. Tyre preservation's a little bit better, but again, everything else, he's worse rated. So, yeah, Mick's not going to have the same car performance as Daniel Ricciardo in this next one. Right, so time to set our race targets before we go into the Spanish Grand Prix, and I think I'm going to go a little bit bolder with Daniel Ricciardo. Go 18th or higher. I'll go 20th or higher with Mick Schumacher to get us just over $1.2 million, hopefully. And with that, we're ready to jump into this first practice session in Barcelona. Right, both cars out of the garage then. Let's chase down some good setups. We are running worn car parts again, though, so we might have a retirement in this first session, but we have to do it. We have to get rid of these parts one way or another rather than damaging some newer parts. Mick Schumacher's just had a little bit of a spin here in practice too. Oh, quite a big spin actually. That done to his tyres. We're quite early on in the stint here. 79%. Yeah, he's took a good 10% out of them, which isn't great for this stint. Mick's engine has given out. We thought this might happen, and yeah, Mick has had to retire from this second practice session.
That certainly looks like a terminal failure. What a shame.
We've got engine issue, gearbox issue, and ERS, and in the end, too much from Mick. He has to retire. It's not too much longer in this second practice session, 18 minutes, so he's only missing out on 18 minutes, so it's not too bad in the end. So that is the end of practice here in Spain, and we've done a pretty good job. One thing, though, is car parts knowledge not to 100%, and I did say we didn't have any new car parts on the car for this weekend. I think we do, and I think it was a rear wing that we weren't able to manufacture for the previous race, so there is a new part on the car, and that's why we've only got car parts knowledge to 97% with both drivers. But as you can see, the statistics on the other two, track acclimatization and setup satisfaction, both 100%, so we've pretty much done the best we could. Probably could have got that car parts knowledge up if we got Mick and Danny Rick a little bit more track time, but I'm pretty happy with that because Daniel Ricciardo and Mick Schumacher both have a driver preparation of 99% as we head into qualifying in Barcelona. Let's see what we can do as we jump on board with Daniel Ricciardo. Hopefully some green sector times here. But they're not going green. That's not good for us. Not good at all. What is Mick going to do? That is a 22.9 for Daniel Ricciardo. What can Mick do? 22.6. He does go green. That's 3 tenths. That's good first sector from Mick. He was only a tenth off Daniel Ricciardo in those first runs, so Mick might have a chance of out-qualifying Daniel Ricciardo here. Yeah, Ricciardo struggling. 29.9 second sector. 29.6. So Mick is flying at the moment. Daniel Ricciardo just struggling to find any pace for some reason. So he doesn't go quicker. So Daniel Ricciardo is definitely out. Where can Mick Schumacher go here? As we're going to come across the line. Mick to 17th. So not quite enough.
Understood.
We're going to be out in Q1, unfortunately. We are ahead of Ocon. Oh, Mick is ahead of Ocon, Zhou, and Sargent, though. As I say, the aim here is to improve this car so we can get ahead of these Haasers and Kick Saubers. Start challenging the Alpines as well, but as I say, Bottas is a bit OP in that Kick Sauber. He's often a second up the road to Zhou, which is mad. That's a bit too much of a gap. K-Mag, is he? No, he's pulling over. So K-Mag is done as well. So it is going to be as it stands. So Mick Schumacher is going to qualify 17th. Daniel Ricciardo is going to be 19th. So all in all for us, that shows good sign. It's not great to be out in Q1, but it shows good signs in terms of where this car is. It is developing, getting in the right direction now. So there we go. Confirmation out of Q1. Mick will start 17th. Danny Rick in 19th. Let's see what happened in Q3. And Max Verstappen is on pole. It's showing him and Hamilton have penalties. Now, I don't know if this is a glitch because they had penalties the last race. So we'll have to see if that happens again, if it's just a coincidence, or if they're going to have penalties in the next race and it's some kind of glitch. But we'll keep an eye on that. But Max Verstappen gets pole, but looks like he won't start on pole because he's got a grid penalty. So Lando Norris will start in first place. Then Charles Leclerc, Sergio Perez, Carlos Sainz in 5th, Lewis Hamilton 6th, but as I say, also taking a grid penalty. Oscar Piastri 7th, George Russell 8th, Yuki Tsunoda 9th, and Fernando Alonso 10th. Any other surprises down here? No, says we're taking a penalty. Oh, we are actually taking a penalty because of the incident with Hulkenberg. We got a 5-second penalty that we were unable to take because we then retired from the race because Gasly took us out. So that's why Gasly's got a penalty as well. So looks like we are, although Mick starts 17th, probably going to start at the back of the grid, which is a bit unfortunate there. So let's get into some strategy here, though. So it's a cloudy race. Looks like it's going to be dry. Oh, it's a free-place grid penalty, so we're down from 17th to 20th. So we're not dead last. As I say, that's because we couldn't actually serve the 5-second penalty in the last race because we had to retire. Right, so we are going to go for a 2-stop with Daniel Ricciardo, starting on the hard tyres, second stint on the mediums, final stint on the mediums. Mick Schumacher is going to be a free-stopper, starting on the mediums, second stint mediums, third stint soft, and final stint soft. So we'll jump into it then. Daniel Ricciardo starting 16th, Mick Schumacher with that demotion in terms of grid penalty in 17th, which I think is actually the same place. So it looks like people have dropped below him, which might be Verstappen and Hamilton. Let's jump into this one. So as we said, the McLaren is in first place due to that Verstappen penalty.
And it's lights out.
As we're
And
underway
away
in
we
Barcelona.
go.
Looked like a good start from Charles there, and he is ahead of McLaren. And yeah, both Lewis and Verstappen start from the pit lane again, which happened in Monaco. They didn't get out of the pit for 40 seconds in Monaco, though, so they've actually got going a little bit quicker here. We're up to 15th. Mick dropped to 19th, though, there. Verstappen is already past us, which is to be expected anyway. Hamilton's probably going to get past as well. Where is our race here then? So Hamilton will get past, so we'll be in 19th and probably 17th and 19th once Verstappen and Hamilton pass us. So yeah, maybe we can battle for 16th, 17th here. Best place finish is 12th, which we got in the last race in Canada. Or then 2 16th place finishes, so we're starting to regularly not finish in those 21st and 22nd. We've got a yellow flag. It looks like Tsunoda. As we see him there, Tsunoda has had a spin. And he's going to be right at the back of the grid then, so that's good for us. Although he is rapid. That RB is rapid, and he is rapid. But yeah, just losing it. Luckily, it wasn't collected by anyone there, to be fair. And then he just has to park it on the edge.
Not much that the team can do about that one.
And RB are very upset about that one. Right, so Tsunoda drops to the back, lose a bit of tyre life there as well. Lost about 5%. As Max Verstappen will be making his way past us shortly. And we're still within the second, so we will get DRS here. Joe's lost DRS, so it might be an opportunity here for us to make a move. Who's defensive, Joe? We're going to try the outside, which will lead to the inside. Much later, braking from Daniel Ricciardo.
Doing a really good job.
And into 14th, which is a good little move. Schumacher has got Gasly at the same time by the looks of that.
Mick Schumacher involved. They decide to give it a go.
So it's the same time up the road. We see Ricciardo challenging Joe. Mick Schumacher has got past Pierre Gasly.
Thank you very much.
With 2 moves at the same time there for our drivers. And right, we now want to get back into this DRS of Albon and Bottas. So we just use a bit of deployment there with Ricciardo. Mick is in the DRS because he's behind Verstappen and Joe, so that's fine. Verstappen has finally cleared Joe. Ricciardo's got past Bottas. Yellow flag. What's the yellow flag for? Sargent. Sargent is off the track, so that's another position gain for us. No contact. Sargent's lose it. Did he tap the wall? I don't think he did. Well, that's more positions gained for us due to mistakes of other drivers. Right, Schumacher is right behind Joe, but Joe has got DRS as well, so this will be difficult.
Copy.
Let's just settle back into that with Mick. Right, Verstappen's past Ricciardo, absolutely fine with that, because we're obviously not racing Verstappen. He started from the pit lane, so he's making his way through. Multiple cars have crashed. What's happened now here? Is it Piastri?
What happened with Gasly there?
Gasly. Gasly and Tsunoda. Tsunoda already be involved in his own spin. Oh, and then he's out-braked himself right in the gearbox of Gasly. Now Tsunoda surely going to get a penalty for that, isn't he? Right, we try to push up to Albon. We haven't got the pace for that, and Bottas is sticking with us. So our race, I think, is really 14th and below. Tsunoda is going to get a penalty for that. 2 right. Gasly's lost half his front wing, really struggling, holding Tsunoda up. Chunk out of his rear wing as well. That's lovely. He's holding Tsunoda up lovely, because Tsunoda might come back through the field, as he did in Canada, as he has to jump into the pits. Zhou has got past Ricciardo there.
Don't worry.
Zhou is on the softs though, so as I say, I'm not too bothered about that at the moment.
Now we should be able to take a look here. Now here we are tackling turn 3.
Yeah, DRS
It's
powerful
certainly
down the
inviting.
straight there. We did go defensive, but Zhou went to the outside, gets the move done. Now the only thing here is if Bottas clears Ricciardo, we might be best letting Mick go, because Mick's on the mediums, Danny Rick on the hards. Go on, Mick. Yeah, Bottas is going to get past. The only problem here is we let Mick go, we'll probably lose out to Hamilton. To be fair, our race is not with Hamilton.
Honestly, I don't think we can do much more.
That worked out well. That worked out well. We got Mick past us without losing out to Hamilton. As I say, we're not really racing Hamilton. It's only a matter of time. I feel it's the right thing to do, though. Let Mick go at the moment. He's on the mediums. Danny Rick on the hards. And the 2 kicks Alba's on the softs. So as I say, we're doing all right. We're at different phases in terms of strategy in this Grand Prix.
Understood.
I think we learn our lessons from last race there and don't let them fight. So if you didn't watch the last race in Canada, Ricciardo and Schumacher come together. And if you haven't, that is on the YouTube, our latest episode in Canada on YouTube. If you're on YouTube now, you can check that out on the main profile. If you're on TikTok or Twitch, go to my profile. YouTube link is in the bio and you can check that latest episode out now.
Yep, understood.
As Mick is going to make the move, is Daniel Ricciardo going to try follow him through here? No. Mick gets Bottas though.
Let's take a closer look. Now we're watching the action closely here. The gap opens up for
So
them.
Mick, as we've allowed him, we've released him in front of Ricciardo. He soon
And
gets
that
past
sees them
Bottas. I think that's the right decision. And if you are jumping in no matter the platform, please do like the video. It really does help out the channel, and I really do appreciate it. Hamilton has moved past us.
Yep. This is my pace.
That's fine though, because Hamilton really is not in our race. Hamilton
Now,
should
we're
have
with
cleared us a
Lewis
long
Hamilton.
time ago.
It's there for the taking.
So he has finally got past us. Well, that might be a struggle for Lewis from back there. What tyres is Lewis on the softs as well, so to keep Lewis back for that long. And we're going to see quite a few pit stops shortly. Can Mick get close enough to Zhou? Zhou is very slow out of there, wasn't he? I think this should be doable now. DRS, we're only 3 attempts back here. Come on, Mick. Let's get this done. Let's push up the road. Ricciardo's got Bottas. But I want to see this move, hopefully, from Mick. Should be done way before the apex here.
Currently P15.
And there we go. Comfortable for Mick Schumacher. Moves up into 14th then. So good move from Mick. We're up to 14th. Whether we can eat into this gap now of Albon, we'll see. These hards and mediums are now working a lot better than the soft tyres. What bought the game? Would you say it's worth it as an F1 fan? I would say so, certainly. As Ricciardo goes to the outside. Again, this should be done way before the corner. DRS very powerful around Catalunya here. And Ricciardo up to 16th. Ocon and Zhou in now. We might lose a bit of time in these pit stops due to the undercut. They've obviously pitted a lot earlier than us, but that should come back to us later in the race.
Be ready. Copy.
Pit window entered. We want to extend it really to about lap 20 if we can, but we'll see. Now it's down to the pit crew.
Box.
Drivers have done a good little first stint there, I feel. Now, we don't want the boys and girls at Team Lotus to let us down here. We need a good pit stop. 2.7 or under, I'll take. To be fair, I'll take 3 seconds and under. Let's not be picky. That RB of Correa is going to be released. That's fine. .7, absolutely fine. We'll take that. Right, so I'd expect these Saubers to be getting past us. But actually, they're not miles past us. I don't think Joe is even going to clear us, is he? He might do across this lap because his tyres will be up to temps. But actually, I'm pleasantly surprised by that. I thought we'd be a long way back from them. Sargent is yet to pit on those tyres, so he's struggling as well, it looks like. Right, so now it's to Ricciardo.
Is about 1.5 now.
Lap 25. I don't think we're going to quite reach lap 25. He's holding up Hulkenberg, Stroll, Albon. He's frustrating everyone here, is Danny Rick. Well, this may well help Mick if... yeah, depending on the strategy. We don't know the strategy of the other drivers, of course. I think everyone is at least 2 stopping. Danny Rick is set up for a 2 stop. Some of these may be 3 stopping. So, as I say, I think it's all going to come together in the final phase of the Grand Prix. We may be 14th or 15th. We may be 19th and 20th. I don't think we're going to know till there. But look at this. Nearly 5 car wide. And I think Ricciardo... No! Ricciardo! No, Ricciardo. No. Oh, well, don't worry about Ricciardo then. Oh, Ricciardo. What have we lost? Have we lost it? Have we... Oh, Danny Rick. I thought that was going to go wrong. There's 5 car wide near enough there. Ah, it's got to be Danny Rick's fault as well, isn't it?
While all that was happening,
I think Daniel Ricciardo locks up.
Yeah, I got hit.
Yeah, we've got ERS issues.
Okay.
Aero's fine.
Okay, I had a lockout.
Yep. Danny Rick's locked up, and that's going to cost us big time. Joe did get past Mick there. No penalties. I'm surprised by that. Joe's back on the softs as well, so I think Joe's gone soft. Bottas gone soft medium. But he's already at 70% on those mediums. Don't really know what we can do with Ricciardo now. That is, yeah, that's wrecked it a little bit. I think he's going to be a long way back now. Let's hope at least we can get a clean stop out of him. None of the aero's damaged. He's got an ERS problem.
Okay, good lad.
2.9, not the best, but we'll take it. Mick is back past Joe.
We can take a look now. And it was Mick Schumacher involved.
On the straight.
The opportunity begging to be taken.
Easy move again. So, yeah, Mick is going to do an extra pit stop, though. That's the only thing. I'd expect Bottas to be going for 1 more stop, whereas we're going for 2. We've probably got to get ahead of Bottas and start pushing down the road, really. Ricciardo is out in 20th. Got Piastri sending one down the inside of Charles to take the lead of the race. And Ricciardo's going to have to get that out of the way. Holds up the Ferrari nicely for Oscar. Still holding up. Oscar is loving that. His fellow countryman doing some good work for him there. Well, Schumacher's past Bottas. We should really be focusing on Mick, shouldn't we? Here, let's have a look at where we're doing. So we're 15th. Past Bottas, as I say, we've got good tyre advantage on Bottas, but I feel we're going to be doing an extra pit stop. We really want to get these now to lap 40. A shocker. Ricciardo is past Kevin Magnussen. Right, where's Ricciardo? So he's got Tsunoda, as I say, he's going to be hard to challenge, I feel. He's 4 seconds up the road. Mick, as we say, is lap 40. Daniel Ricciardo, we're trying to get to lap 45. Not too much happening for our drivers now, is there? What's going out up front? Everyone's stopped now. So it's Charles who's got the lead from Sergio, then Carlos Sainz, then a big gap to Norris and Verstappen. We're battling. So Verstappen started this one last. And he's right now on the tail of Norris in 5th. So Verstappen from last has still got a chance of winning this one. Joe is pitting now. So again, these guys had to pit very early in their first stint. So we should be quicker at the end of the Grand Prix, technically. Unless some of those are 2-stopping. Because with Mick, we're 3-stopping. Danny Rick, we are trying a 2-stopper. I don't know if we can... don't know if we can maintain that, though, because obviously we did have to pit early with Danny Rick because he had that lock-up, which wrecked his tyres. We'll see. Bottas in as well now. Mick still around 5 seconds behind Ocon. Danny Rick, we don't really know where he is compared to Joe and Bottas now because, of course, those guys have jumped into the pits. So we're just working towards lap 40 now, chat. And then we'll bring Mick Schumacher in. Our drivers look okay. It's George Russell that's had a spin. That's not really going to affect our race, unfortunately. Oh, George. Wow. Well, I tell you what, that must be a record. I know they're quicker getting on back on the track in F1 Manager 24, but it's the quickest I've ever seen them return to. He was still half spin by the time he got those rears back in action to spin that one back round. Good work from George. That's Ocon this time. That works for us because Ocon was ahead of us. Obviously, he's pit now. Is this a big lockup? Does he lose much time? Ooh, he will lose quite a bit of time there. So that's handy for us. Ocon's, yeah, he's lost a lot of time. I'd imagine we're going to jump Ocon now. Ricciardo's passed him. What's that done to Esteban's tyres? Yeah, he's took quite a bit of life out of them. So, yeah, this is looking good. Ocon, I think we'll be ahead of Ocon now due to that mistake. Obviously, I don't want to tempt fate, but we do have a mistake or two in our drivers. They've kept, well, Mick's kept it clean. Ricciardo's obviously already made a mistake. His confidence is still low. Mick's is high, so we're not burning out the tyres. So hopefully we can keep it clean here. Right, here comes Mick. So again, we need another clean stop, really. Don't want any mistakes. Come on, pit crew. We're right at the end there. And as it stands for 2025, we'll be right at the end. But hopefully we can nick a point or two by the end of the season. No. Slow front right. 2 seconds slow. It's not an absolute disaster. But it is 2 seconds lost.
And there's been a slow pit stop.
Alright, so Mick is out. Just behind his teammate. Is he gonna... just in front of his teammate, actually. So that's worked out well. He's got a good gap, actually. So that's fine. The 2 seconds isn't ideal loss in the pit there. But he's got a good gap. Magson's developed a mechanical fault. So Mick's now on softs. And he can push on. So Tsunoda's got to pit again. Tsunoda might 2-stop. But I think all of these have got to come in again. Ricciardo is now holding Bottas up, but that works well actually for Mick. I think Bottas is going to try and get those hards to the end. So Mick needs to... What's the pit loss here? 25 seconds. Mick probably needs to build a good 15-20 seconds to Bottas. He'll come out behind him, but then on fresh softs at the end, we should be able to easily get past him. Bottas is going to get past us here. I don't want to fight him too hard and wreck Danny Rick's race, because as I say, Danny Rick is on a 2-stopper, so he might come into play later on. So yeah, Bottas will get past us here. And there he goes. And then we've got Ocon. So we did clear Ocon by quite a distance with Mick, didn't we? And I think Ocon's got to pit again. He has.
Honestly,
So
I don't
Mick
think we
is
can do
having a
much
good
more.
little race here. Ricciardo's going to be in for what should be his final stop. So a bit of an error there on Mick's side of the garage. Hopefully the guys and gals are better for this one. Tsunoda's in the pits as well, so that's giving Mick even more of a gap. He was about 2 seconds behind Tsunoda. .7, that's a lot better. So where does Ricciardo? So Ricciardo will be 20th. And we've got Sargent in front of us. Sargent will have to pit again, I feel. I think Zhou will. I think Ocon will. Yeah, don't quite know where Daniel Ricciardo is going to finish in all of this yet. I have to go light for a couple of laps with him. And then we'll see where he feeds out.
Replay.
What's that done?
This is where the RB driver's involved.
Correa has a bit of a
Things are
nightmare
okay
actually in
at
his
this
career
stage.
so far with RB.
Well, you can see the lockup. Just unable to control
That's a big
the
old
car by
lockup.
that point.
So Mick is 10, 13. He's got about 18 seconds on Bottas. So as I say, he'll probably come out 7 or 8 seconds behind him, but hopefully we'll be able to eat into that pretty quickly. Oh, he's got a pit. Bottas is pitting anyway. Yeah, not even a problem. Bottas has got to pit there. Bottas will definitely have to pit. As he pits now, so it's not even going to be an issue. Let's just get Mick into this pit stop. Here we go then. Final stop with Mick. Hopefully it's a clean one. Looks cleaner. 2.8, not the quickest, but no mistake there. 10 laps to go. What's Ricciardo looking like? He's fine. He's in 17th. He's past the 2 kicks, but they're probably going to make their way past us now on soft tyres. Mick is out. He's in 15th. And that should be pretty good for us. I think that should be 15th place secured for Mick Schumacher, as long as he doesn't make any mistakes. Can we get up to these RBs? Will they have to save their tyres? We're a long way back though, aren't we? We're a long way back. Bottas is right on us though. He's past us. That didn't last too long.
So let's take a look at the replay. Now we're at turn 11 now.
Probably having a big push at the moment on those tyres and using his ERS. Ooh, nice move from Valtteri. Yeah, Dark Lord, we're using that excess fuel. We're burning that off now. 51, so I think it was like 7% to 3% there. So, yeah, I think... Oh, Correa did have to pit. He must be on soft. So Correa's pit. That's promoted Mick up to 14th now. Is anyone else going to surprise us with a pit? I think Tsunoda will be fine, won't he? So Mick is up to 14th. The risk would be Correa, but we've got 10 seconds now to Correa. Can he do that in 6 laps? I'm not sure he can. So it might be 14th for Mick Schumacher, which will be his best finish. His best so far is 16th for us. Our best finish overall, 12th, which was Daniel Rick in the last one. Correa is now 6.6 behind us, so he's pushing. We can push as well. It's just we're quite close to this Mercedes, so whilst we're in the DRS, we might as well save a bit of tyre life. But we do need to be mindful of him behind us. We've got 2 to go. Just want to see if we're in that DRS still. If not, we'll start to push. Let's see. Don't think we are now.
Just push. Copy.
Alright, we'll have a push lap.
Copy.
And I believe this will be the final lap for us as well, because we're on the lead lap after... Not on the lead lap, but we've been lapped, so we will finish with the leaders. Yeah, we're not going to get a fastest lap because we get too close to the gearbox of this Merc again.
Copy.
Although it looks like Mick is going to unlap himself. Which, too right too, Mick. Good work.
Tyre update.
So Mick unlaps himself. Are we going to go quicker in this first sector? Are we going to get a green sector? We are. Personal best sector 1. Come on, set your best lap at least, Mick. Yeah, Ricciardo is going to come home in 18th. Conserved enough tyre life there. He wasn't too far off Ocon, but that error, that accident costing him. Oh, we get a nice little DRS there off Perez, is it? Is Perez indeed. Personal best sector 2. Come on, Mick finishing strong here. Could be his fastest lap of the race as Carlos Sainz has won it. He leads at 1-2 for Ferrari yet again. Verstappen's going to finish on the podium. But Mick Schumacher is going to bring it home for his best result for Team Lotus as he finishes 14th for us. And that is a great little result for us. We're not yet ready to challenge for points, but we are now consistently showing we can get higher up on this grid. We've now finished the last 3 races across 16th, 14th and 12th. So we're getting in amongst that sort of 12th to 16th. So the first phase of this design work is well and truly underway. We now need to push on to try and get on the fringes of the points. Daniel Ricciardo, 18th, disappointingly locked up, wrecked his race. And yeah, I think he would have been about another 5-6 seconds at least up the road, plus in DRS train. So I think he would have been challenging Bottas for perhaps 16th. So disappointing end for Daniel Ricciardo. But good result for Mick Schumacher after the disaster in Canada for Mick. That's much better for him. And I think he certainly, if you haven't already, Mick certainly deserves a like on the video for that result. So as I said, Carlos Sainz wins it, followed by Charles Leclerc, and Ferrari are dominating across the last few races. Max Verstappen started in the pit lane, up 18 places. That is inevitable. That is Max Verstappen for you. Sergio Perez, 4th. Lando Norris, 5th. Oscar Piastri, 6th. George Russell, 7th. Then we've got Lewis Hamilton, 8th. He started in the pit lane as well, up 14. Lance Stroll, 9th. Fernando Alonso, 10th. And Oscar Piastri takes the fastest lap. What was his fastest lap? A 1:15.3. Oh, we were only 2 seconds off it. The margin is too much on this game. They really need to patch that. But that was our fastest lap on that final lap. I'm sure it was. Real surprise there. Yuki, who's pretty OP on this game. He finished out of the points there. He obviously spun on the first lap. So that cost him. But let's say for us, Mick Schumacher 14th. Daniel Ricciardo 18th. But certainly that 14th, very good result for us. So Drivers' Championship, Max Verstappen is still leading the way. Only just now, 4 points to Carlos Sainz. So it's really hotting up between these top two. Bit of a gap to Charles Leclerc in 3rd. No movement in this top 8 with Oscar Piastri 4th, Lando Norris 5th, Sergio Perez 6th, George Russell 7th, Lance Stroll 8th. Hamilton is up 1 to 9th, and Fernando Alonso is down 1 to 10th. And then the rest of the scorers so far, Yuki Tsunoda, Alex Albon, Ocon and Bottas, and the rest of the grid yet to score a point. But Mick Schumacher is no longer last by virtue of that 14th place finish, sorry. He is ahead of Pierre Gasly, so our drivers technically, although no points due to finishes, we are now 18th and 21st. Constructors, Ferrari, as I say, dominating across the last few weekends. They're starting to pull away now. Good 44 gap on Red Bull in 2nd. Bit of a margin now to McLaren in 3rd. Then a big margin to Mercedes in 4th. Then Aston Martin 5th. RB 6th. Williams 7th. Alpine 8th. Pick Sauber 9th. And Haas and Team Lotus yet to score. Unfortunately, our pit stops weren't quite what we wanted across this weekend. So again, I don't think we scored any points. Obviously, our pit stop training this for this month, we had to just try basically get the chance of mistake down. We were focusing on fatigue, so we haven't had a chance to decrease these pit stop times. But we will work on that and hopefully start getting some points because we are unfortunately dead last on that as well, which isn't great. But of course, the real success is Mick Schumacher with that 14th place finish. We do need to celebrate that. It's his best finish of the year so far and really bouncing back after that horrendous Canadian Grand Prix. So good work from Mick. It's also good to see the car, as I said in the video there, we are now starting to work our way up the grid. We're no longer sort of struggling for 21st, 22nd, or, you know, just a couple of positions above that. We're now regularly finishing in that sort of 12th to 16th place. So now we need to continue that design work if we can. Money is going to be a big issue, but if we can, then we can start maybe pushing into that more 12th to 14th place more regularly, and then we're on the fringes of the points. So it's all going in the right direction. As I always say, if you want to check out the live streams of these videos, this is obviously the highlighted version. We live stream every Tuesday and Friday from 7:15 p.m. BST, and you can check out, as I say, the live races at that time. If not, these highlighted videos drop on a Monday and Thursday. If you're coming back and watching these, and as I say, you're not yet subscribed, please make sure to hit the subscribe button, especially if you've made it all the way to the end of this video. And of course, smash a like on the video, get involved in the comments, and we will be back on Monday for the next episode in this Team Lotus series.